By the end of this video, you'll learn at least one thing that's going to immediately help you win more games. These are 10 pro tips that have personally helped me beat the best players in the world and win tens of thousands of dollars. So if you're somebody who's struggling to win games, or you just like winning and you want to win more, this video is for you, so let's get into it. This quick throw to the right side of the field is one of the most annoying things to defend every single year, dude. But now we actually have a super easy way of defending these I've overlooked for a very, very long time. And I'm upset with myself, so I wanted to show you guys this very early on. Is this route or this zone right here a seam flat? It's very straightforward. It defends the seam, then works its way out to the flat. And against a route combo like this that is attacking the seam, he's really good at defending it. You see right there, he's going to play it again, almost an easy pick. So how do we get seam flats out there? Well, two different ways, okay? First of all, it comes stock in every cover 3 blitz. So you can either find a cover 3 blitz like Sam Edge 3, or go into your concepts and go to zone blitz 3 deep. And all of these are, for the most part, cover 3 blitzes. So let's go into something like, let's go SS blitz 3 from the 4-3 over walk, okay? And what do we have here on the right side? We go all the way over. This guy's in a seam flat, all right? So we can just snap this ball, and look, he's going to carry up. And that's going to totally change the throw of this, okay? It's massive, massive, massive. Now, let's say that instead we want to call our normal defense, which is actually just a cover 3 sky, and this is our normal defense. Well, we can actually adjust a defender into a seam flat by clicking onto him, hitting A or X on PlayStation, and then if you look, the left stick up is going to turn him into a seam flat. This means that we can run whatever defense we want to run, man coverage, Tampa 2, whatever it is, and still have a seam flat on that side of the field, and he's going to carry up still. Now, if they fit that ball in, that is just a risky, risky throw. Now, it is important to note with this, though, that you want your zone drops to all be at default. That is massive for this tip to work. But again, seam flats, bag all of these seam streaks that you see thrown on the field. And if I've helped you get better at all at this game, consider hitting the subscribe button. Over 90% of people actually who are watching right now just aren't subscribed. And it seriously helps out these videos and this channel a ton. You'd be doing me a big favor. So only if I've actually helped you get better at the game, consider hitting the subscribe button. Let's get back into it. Jet touch passes are very good in this game. You either run them yourself or you've seen people run them on you. They get to the edge really easily, especially with how good spin moves are at cutting back. They're super good, and they look just like this right here. They're just called jet touch pass. Like every playbook has them, okay? Now I'm gonna show you 2 different ways we can slow these down, actually, and it's really good when you pair these together, okay? So the first one on defense is that we wanna be one of these either 2nd or 3rd level defenders, so a linebacker, a safety, and ideally, we wanna be somebody who's on the side opposite of where it's going to. So it's going to the right here. I wanna be on the left, and then try to user loop around and force them back inside. That's the first thing we can do, right? That's called just being the user contained, and it's very good against a lot of outside runs. It's a very simple, like, strategy just to force people to at least have to have good stick work and then, like, you know, have to cut it back inside, right? Make them use a little bit of skill. So a user loop, and now they have to cut back inside. Mind you, I'm using 2 controllers right here, so keep that in mind. Now, the next thing we can do is that same idea of user looping, but if we press RB or R1 on PlayStation, look at this screen that comes up. We can shift our entire defense to the left. We could shift them to the right, or we could pinch them or spread them. Now here, against something like this, when I see that touch pass coming, that motion, right, because a little motion early, we want to actually shift everybody to the left, and that's going to get us more bodies over there. See what I'm saying? Now, if they do that cutback right there, that was insane from the CPU, actually. That was nuts. But just by shifting everybody, we're just going to get more bodies over there, which is going to help us. So right here, I'm actually going to user somebody in the 2nd level, right? We see this. Motion. Oh, motion. And he's ran a few touch passes on me. I'm going to do that, and that's going to help guys come free, okay? Simply just shift your defense and user swoop like I showed. It can make all the difference in the world in slowing down this very, very good play. Trying to beat good man coverage is one of the most frustrating things we could do because it just seems like they just run the routes for you sometimes, and it's just super, super annoying. You've probably played against man coverage before, that it seems like nothing gets open. So there's a few things I want to point out that I do when I try to beat man coverage that I always keep in mind, and I'm actually going to give you an entire play that you can either steal exactly or take some of the concepts from, okay? So let's go into something like nickel, and we will go into a basic cover 2 man. Where's my cover 2 man? There it is, cover 2 man. And then the play I love is actually out of a scheme I recently built out of the Alabama playbook from bunch tight end. And we're going to go into the play whips, okay? Now, first thing we got to keep in mind is that every man-beating route has a percentage of the time it wins against man. This tight end zig route is really good against man, but it doesn't actually win every single time. There's about, even right there, it's a little bit closer. There's like an 85% win chance. The actual win chance is based upon like leverage, player ratings, shading, all that different stuff, right? Every man beater can get bagged by man coverage, even if it's a man beater. The reason it's important to keep that in mind is that zone coverage is different. If I call Tampa 2 and I go cover 2 hard flats right here on the left side, and then I run a flood concept over there, right? This deep corner will be open every time against cover 2 hard flat, no matter what. There's no probability here. There's no chance. It's literally just the dynamics of where the zone defense is setting up as opposed to where the corner route is running. So, with that in mind, against man coverage, we actually want to give ourselves a few different man-beating routes. So, the reason I like to play tight end whips so much is we can do that in a few different ways. One, we can streak our point wide receiver. Streaks are super good against man because if they go cover 0, right? Let's say they try sending the dogs at us and they don't have any help over top. Streaks can actually be an easy one-play touchdown a lot of the time. Let's see right here. Can we get it? You see how we're able to get a step on him? And that's just about making the throw and making the catch. Right there, we missed the throw and the catch. You get kind of the idea, right? We do this bad boy again. Let's see if we can set up something a little bit different. Let's see how this looks. Boom, Y. And there, right there, Y is going to get a step. That's just about throwing it. I like to do a lob pass a lot of times. Streaks will beat man coverage over the top very consistently. So I always want to have one of these, okay? The next thing I really like is a stemmed down corner route. So in this case, we're going to tap Y or triangle. We'll select X in this case, and then hold LB to custom stem him all the way down by pushing the left stick down, okay? Now we have something like this. Then I just love zig routes. So in this case, we're going to have 2 zigs in the middle of the field. I'll actually re-zig this guy sometimes, but it kind of look like this. And then your halfback is also another great one. And in this case, we'll just Texas route our halfback. So it looks something like this. Here, we actually have 5 different man beaters. So based on pure probability, even if we get screwed on 1 or 2 of them, we are going to have somebody open, okay? Now, you want to make sure you build a good route combo around this as well. You don't want to just have random routes out there. But something like this is incredibly good at beating man coverage because we have 5 different guys who can all get open. Right here, we're going to go back to the zig. The corner route's been bagged twice in a row, but the corner route is a good one that you can throw. We'll see if we can get him at some point here, but maybe we won't. Let's go back to this. This time, I'll actually block my halfback, and we'll have them send pressure. Oh, this time, let's see. Can we throw that corner route? High ball. There we go. We're able to hit the corner route. Against man, I love high balling corners. A lot of times, they'll undercut it if you don't. So just keep that in mind as well. Go back to something like this. This time we get, we'll go A. See, both the zig on the left was bagged that time, but that time A1. I hope this makes sense for a few man-beating routes that you can have, like streaks, like corner routes, like zigs, like halfback Texas routes, and that they're not always going to be open, so you have to make the read in the play. You can't just make the predetermined read. Some routes, though, like the tight end zig right here, really, really good against man, and that win percentage could be like 95, 96, 97%. Not being able to pick up a blitz can be very, very frustrating. So, one of the easiest things that I found to help myself pick up just various blitzes, and this works pretty much every single year, actually, this idea, is let's go into double A gap right here, and we'll just send the front line at us, okay? Let me zone him out. Okay, so we're going to send 6 at us. What I like to do is to hold LB or L1 and to full slide with the left stick towards my halfback, okay? That is going to make my halfback block, and that's going to make my entire offensive line shift left, essentially, slide left. Then we want to hold LB again, tap A, and then we can move this M icon to the end man on the line of scrimmage, opposite of the halfback. Now watch what happens here. The halfback is going to come across, and he's actually going to usually try cut blocking that edge guy coming free. This is a really good, just standard rule of thumb style of blocking. This won't block literally everything, but if you are having issues, again, it's simple. Once you come out, it doesn't matter what your halfback's already on. You just want to make sure it's not play action, okay? You want to hold LB, full slide to your halfback. So in this case, it's to the right with the left stick. And then we're going to hold LB again, tap A, which is then going to allow us to do this right here. And we're going to set the mic. Let me get off of that guy. Cool. And then all we got to do, snap the ball. You'll see the halfback come across. Now, this can also be really good for rolling out if you had a faster QB. You can kind of see how that would be, because that cut block actually eliminates that defender. So, a little extra like pro tip for you right here is let's do something like this. Let's do the same idea from the double mug. Send the dogs at him, sure. All we're going to do here, we're going to full slide towards the halfback, but then we're going to ID the mic on this guy on the right. And again, sometimes this can be a little bit unnecessary, but it's just, I'm doing it as like a kind of standard rule of thumb. We snap the ball. He's going to cut block that guy. He gets hurdled, but notice they lose contain. This is actually a really good way to roll out as well. So at the bottom of your screen, you see something called packages. This is in the formations tab, and all we have to do is flick the right stick to the left or right. We can kind of go through different packages. Now, a lot of times, they're pretty basic. It's a good way to get your quarterback out of the game, halfback sub, stuff like that, right? But we could do some really cool stuff with these packages too. Let's go into goal line. We go here, and we can go jumbo package, which is going to get a tight end in at halfback. Or we can go to Miami package, and if we come out in Miami, notice who our tight end is. Wolo is a defense. He is our starting defensive tackle. Okay, now he's not open right here, but we can get him right there. Okay, that's kind of cool, but not super useful, but cool, right? Well, then let's look at another formation. This one is called F twins over. And if we go here and flick the right stick to the left once, we get a wide receiver at quarterback, or we get a halfback at quarterback, right? Each formation has their own specific formation packages, which can be very, very cool. But I want to show you guys a little bit more utility of this, how it can be like very essential to you, okay? Right now, I'm on defense. I'm in the 4-2-5 over G, all right? My slot corner, if I try to put him in any adjustments, you see what these look like, right? He can go into a middle third. He can go into an outside third. He can go, into a bunch of different things. And some of you might be saying, these are a little bit weird adjustments for a slot corner, right? Like, how'd you get your slot corner into a deep half? Well, this is specific to the formation. If I didn't want that, we could go right here. Let's just call play on offense really fast. We could go to our packages on defense in the over G, and we could go find a package called slot cornerback. And now with slot cornerback, all we have to do is go back to our slot corner, and notice his adjustments have totally changed. Now, instead of a deep middle third, it's a seam flat. This would be big if you're trying to defend those seams like we talked about earlier. Or we could vert hook him, right? Now, these are entirely different than what we just had. This is a major thing if you're trying to get different adjustments. And you could do the reverse, right? Here in nickel over, our slot corner already has the seam flat adjustments, right? But if we do the right stick, the package, we go to big nickel. And now, let's look what our slot corner has. Our slot corner here is now going to have, again, oh, actually, he doesn't here. Oh, yeah, okay, it that was a weird UI bug. We all saw that. But now he has the middle third, right? He's going to have the deep half right. He has a bunch of different things that we could do, all by utilizing our packages. This could be huge to just check out in whatever offensive scheme you're running right now and just see what's possible. The switch stick has to be the biggest change in a college football game, or any football game for that matter, ever. And I seriously mean that. I want to talk about some do's and don'ts. First and foremost, I want to show you guys a clip of how powerful the switch stick can be and how it can easily take away an absolute laser beam and turn it into an interception, okay? Now, there's a couple of do's and don'ts that you need to know when you're trying to switch stick, and then I'm going to give you some actual tips for how I try to use it inside of whatever defense I'm doing, okay? First and foremost, quick little speed run. Your user has to be in a coverage assignment. The ball can't have been thrown already. And then it has to be a pass play, right? RPOs do count, okay? Next thing, I hate using this on man coverage. If you are running man, I don't want to do this because, very, very simple actually. If we switch stick in man, it's just easy to get lost and then let a slant get wide open because we don't really know what we're doing, okay? You don't always know where you're going with the switch stick. It's very, very sensitive. So just something to keep in mind. I like doing it in zone coverage. I think it's much, much better in zone. All right. So easiest thing we can do here is whatever defensive scheme we're running, you should be doing something defensively where you have an idea of what you want to do, and what's open, where your strengths are and weaknesses are. Okay. So a good example of this would be if I were to run like a cover 2, and then let's say I ran a cover 2 hard flat style defense. Okay. So it's like this. I know my weaknesses are in the top outsides, so above my hard flat. A big thing that I would do then is I would tell myself, if I see corner route, I am going to switch stick over there and help take that away like I did right there. That is the idea. You want to have a scheme, whatever you're doing, right? Whatever play you're calling, you want to know its weaknesses and then have a plan with your switch stick pre-snap. I know, okay, ball snap, what we got? Oh, corner route, and then I'm there. See what I'm saying? Then we're able to take away that corner route. And now, is something else going to be open? Yes, but the thing is, by switch sticking, a lot of times we catch people off guard with it, right? Another example would be this right here. If I were to go into a cover 3, let's say we do something like this, where we go to a true flood concept on the right. We snap this ball. I'm in the middle. Oh my gosh, corner route. We're able to switch on and then try to make that run upfield. Does that make sense? That is massive. I am telling you, if you're not using switch stick right now, try implementing it very basically into your scheme, and it will change everything for you. Let's see if we can get a cool clip right here. Boom. Oh, corner route, boom. Pick, bang. And that was a hard flat. That was it. He was supposed to defend underneath. But I saw the corner route, the weakness in my defense. I said, let me switch stick, and we went up and we got the ball. We're down 21. Huge 4th and 10 right here. We got to get it, and we're going to go to this route right here. Let's see what we got. Oh, and it's wide open. Bang. What is that? That is a custom stemmed speed out route. You have to steal this into your offense some way, somehow. I don't care about anything else. All you need to do with this is have a receiver out wide. So we have it on the left side right here. And then we need to tap Y to bring up our receiver icons. Select X to get our guy right here. And then we're going to put him on a speed out with left on the left stick. All right. The initial speed out looks like this, but we're going to stem him all the way up. We're going to go back to that screen, but hold LB to custom stem. And then we'll go right here at 10 yards. Okay. I don't care about anything else you have on the field. You can figure all that good stuff out. But watch this bad boy right here. All we need to do is try pass leading him down and outside a little bit. You might have to adjust it some as the, depending on the defense. But these custom stems between 10 yards to 15 yards are absolutely nasty. We'll go right here, see if we can get it. The pass lead here is pretty important. But you see again, boom, tutty. This, dude, this is massive. Also, I put LSU and Texas in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and I love it. This is the best thing I've done. LSU is getting blurred right now, but that's besides the point. There's 2 types of plays that not enough people are using that I think would make offense significantly easier for you. I want to talk about both of them in this little segment right here. The first one of these are RPOs, but not just RPOs, RPO read bubbles and RPO read screens. So we actually have one right here on the right of our screen, RPO read wide receiver screen, and then we have an RPO read bubble right here. Now, what the read means, it's actually pretty simple. The read means read option. So, if we look at this play, we have a read key, and then we have a pitch or a pass key right here with the P. The first part of this is a simple read option. So, let's actually hold it right here. Hold A or X on PlayStation, and you'll pull the ball, and you'll actually be able to hold it on that, okay? Let's do it again. I want to hold it, so we hold A or X, and we do it. If we want to hand that ball off, we would just touch nothing, and it'd be a basic inside zone. Let's just do it this time. Obviously, that's not the right read, but you get the idea. The next part of this is that we can actually throw this bubble. So right here, that bubble defender with the P, he totally bailed. I don't know why he bailed, but he did. So we're able to actually do that. And all we have to do to throw the bubble is just hit his button. I like to bullet pass this, so keep that in mind. You don't ever want to, lob that. But it's very, very easy. A lot of playbooks have these bad boys. Let's do it right here. Bang. Now we're able to get out. Inside this one play, it's essentially like a triple option, and it's 3 plays, right? We have the handoff, we have the keep, we have the bubble, or the wide receiver screen if we called one of those. I don't love, the RPO read Y flats, the RPO read flats. Those are okay, and they definitely can work. It's just not a personal favorite of mine. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is an actual triple option, which we can get inside the Oregon playbook in the gun trips formation. If we go, they also have an RPO read bubble right here. Keep that in mind. But if we go, where is this bad boy? QB slot option. And there's a bunch of triple options in this game. These are really, really good. Now, a big thing I want to do is run this triple option to the wide side. If you guys want to respot the football, by the way, in practice mode, hold left trigger or L2 and click the right stick in. That'll let you actually move the football around. And then we're running a read option right here, so let's pull it. And we have a little speed option. So we're able to pitch that bad boy out. That's essentially how that works. So again, just like the RPO read, where we have numerous plays inside of one, right here we again have numerous plays inside of 1. Now, this can be a little bit risky, right? Because if you get hit as you're trying to pitch that ball, it could be a bad pitch. Something to note is that, let's see if we can keep on doing this. If you hold LB, it'll be a slow pitch, but it'll be pretty accurate. Okay, that's our slow pitch way. If we tap it, it's going to be faster, but it might not be as accurate, so it could like ruin your momentum when you're running. But it's a very, very, very easy way to just get some cheap yardage, and you can even build an entire scheme just around these things. Let me actually right here try to hand this ball off for once. Yeah, right there's a good handoff, and that's why it's so lethal, especially if you have a good running back, because you can just pound the ball like this, right? Boom. We'll just pound the ball, and this is fine. We're not even getting into the end of the options and the RPO read stuff. This is just straight, we'll just hand the ball off. Right there, obviously not the right read, but it's okay. And then we can try hurdling somebody and get our player very worn and very torn. This type of throw is what makes placement and accuracy so powerful, and it's why the best players in the world use placement and accuracy as their main setting. So I want to be very clear here. I think revamped is way easier and honestly does a pretty good job. Even if you're not great at passing, like revamped is much, much easier, but placement and accuracy is used by the best for a good reason. So I like this right here. If I'm using placement and accuracy, pass lead increase to small, reticle speed to 3. By the way, I use revamped a lot, but I just want to showcase this. If you hold left trigger when you're passing, you get that little reticle that you see right there. That's going to let you get a super big pass lead increase and be able to thread the needle with the throw, okay? We go back to this again, holding left trigger right as I'm about to throw the ball and then holding it all the way through. We can then use the left stick to push the ball in a certain direction. Right here, I'm not going to use left trigger at all. And notice, this gets played, right? That ball just got played. I'm not going to use left trigger at all again right here, right? We're just going to pass lead with the left stick. We're able to throw it, but just not the same, and it actually gets KO'd. This time, I'm going to use left trigger right now. That's when I'm clicking it, and I'm passing it all the way up and out. And you see, we're able to barely thread the needle. That's the difference between revamp passing, I think, and placement and accuracy. It's not nearly as easy to thread the needle. Another good example of this is, let's see if we can actually get a similar idea to the right side of the field. This is just us beating cover 2, by the way. Let's thread the needle all the way up and out. Oh, that's close. That's close. Like, that is the difference, though. If we do the same thing, no left trigger, boom. Let's see, can we throw it? It gets picked off. That is the difference. Holding left trigger activates something called freeform passing, okay? And when you freeform, you just have way more control. Right there, we just missed the throw. That's one of the downsides of placement and accuracy. There's more likelihood for you just missing throws. Let's go back to left side. Boom, up and out, and we miss it again. Again, that is the downside to placement and accuracy. Ideally, you blue all of your passes. Let's see if we can get that. No, we green this one. That's fine. There is a way to blue your passes on placement accuracy. If we can get it right here. I'm not, yeah. And again, I'm not even great at it. I use revamp. I think it's way easier, and I hate missing throws like that. There we go. There's a blue. There's a blueberry, baby. Also, what I'm doing right now is one of the best ways to attack cover 2. Just getting like seams and streaks and stuff like up and outside of the cloud and outside of the half. But again, there's the downside of placement accuracy too. I almost never have throws like that. And just keep in mind, I am on Heisman right now. I'm not like trying to fool you guys by dotting up the CPU on freshman. But yeah, these would be my placement and accuracy settings if I wanted to use them. And I think, again, very high level. Like if you're trying to win every single game and get as good as possible, use these. This is how the most elite passers in the world actually catch the ball. And there's a massive skill gap here. What we want to do is something called clicking on. So when the ball's in the air, we want to press B or circle. You can actually see me do it kind of right there if you just go back and watch my little fingers. When the ball's in the air, we want to do this because then we can attack the ball almost like it's a rebound, okay? So we go back to this right here. Boom. I actually am going to click on and then attack the ball a little bit. Now, if it's super tight coverage, I'm going to click on and then aggressive catch by tapping Y or triangle. If it's, on the sideline, let's see if we can actually wait a little bit longer. We might click on and then cut the ball off and possession catch. The reason we're doing this is, again, because we want to cut off the ball from getting too deep and getting closer to a defensive back. Now, wow, holy crap, that was awesome. Now, in this exact example that I'm doing right here, we have some space. Clicking on isn't the biggest end of the world. But something like this right here, if we don't click on, this can get picked off, right? Whereas if we do click on, let's see if I can actually undercut this ball. This is a pretty tough throw to make, but we'll see if we can actually get our hands on it. At the very least, I'm able to keep the DB from getting the pick. That is literally the difference between winning and losing just by clicking on. And a tight throw like that, I'm actually going to try aggressive catching. You see right there, I'm able to get it. I want to show another example really fast of me not clicking on. So right here, we are going to not click on. We're able to catch it, but like he's not attacking the ball super well, right? We want to do a great job of clicking on and attacking that ball, cutting it off underneath the zone defenders, or if it's man coverage, we can cut it off in front of the man coverage, make sure they just can't get their hands on it. And again, this is great for the sideline as well. You see just ever so slightly, I come down to the ball a little bit. Big difference between completions and incompletions and interception. And if you enjoyed this video, I want you guys to check out this one next, where we go over the complete guide to playing defense in college football 25.